Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another book review. As you can see, I've only had one course this semester. My true coursework won't really start amping up until about October, which is a little bit strange for me this year. So it's a bit unexpected and unusual, but it's not like I'm complaining. I've had a lot of time to read books more than usual, and I finally finished the last volume of the Alchemist series written by Michael Scott. And honestly, I really enjoyed the final book. It was labyrinthine and epic in many proportions, and a lot of situations occurred that I just was not expecting. Now, I'm not going to give anything away because there are some characters that become involved that were introduced around, well, the first and second, third books in the series. So I really don't want to give too much away. Actually, I'm not going to give anything away because that would be a terrible spoiler alert, and I'm not the type to do that. If you're a fan of the Alchemist series, I would definitely recommend it because it's the culminating point of all the characters. Up to this point, we know that Josh and Sophie are the twins of legend. Josh is a gold and Sophie is a silver. And this has been foretold since time immemorial. And it's very intriguing to see all these different characters of legend coming together. One of my favorite characters would happen to be Neaton or Musashi. It's because he's just so precise in the way he fights, and just that he's such a stoic character, and you feel kind of sorry for him in the case with Aoif, and I'm not going to give anything away about that, but it's the ending for him is just absolutely outstanding. I just loved it, and I thought it was so endearing. As far as books are concerned, I give it 5 stars and 2 thumbs way up. I actually got it on my Nook of all places. If you want to see, this is just the cover of my Nook. I don't have it turned on right now, but it doesn't look very impressive when it's not turned on, but I have a number of different books on here, including Doctor Who's Shada, which was incorporated by the late Douglas Adams, and I forget who the author of that one is, to be honest with you, but I'm going to be reading it fairly soon. Along with some other books that I have that I haven't really got to. I've got a book about Einstein, written with commentary by Dr. Hawking, whom is one of my idols. And it's kind of funny. I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I had a lucid dream in which I met Dr. Hawking, and we had a detailed conversation about the implications of space-time, and if it was possible in our own present-day thinking and technology. He said it was possible. We would probably see it 10 years down the line, maybe 20, maybe sooner. Who knows? It just has to be something that's worked on in stages, because a thing like the intricacies of space-time itself, it would take years in order to do it successfully and not mess up some molecules, just like with the idea of being beamed up someplace else, like from Star Trek, if you know the concept, or being scanned, like in Philip K. Dick's scanning devices. Like if you've watched Code Lyoko, you understand where I'm getting that reference from, or Scanner Darkly, which is, by the way, one of my favorite films of all time. It's just such a mind bender, and it really depicts the evil of addiction. Plus, it kind of plays devil's advocate to actually letting addicts have their fix rather than depriving of them and letting them go cold turkey. You just don't do that to an addict. You have to wean them off gradually. You can't just send them into primal scream like John Lennon went through. A lot of um, a lot of musicians went to primal scream therapy, and it was hell on earth. It literally was. There is no other better explanation for it. But anyway, in this dream, I'm sorry I got way off out in left field, but we talked about physics, and it was just such a sacred moment for me, and I'm hoping that someday I can meet him in person, because I just have such respect for the man, and I just feel like he is one of our modern day geniuses, and he's done one of the things I want to do, which is go into space, which that's on my bucket list. I know it sounds like an impossibility, but I put it in my journal of impossibilities just because who knows, it may be a potentiality in my existence. And just to see the Earth from space, I think would be completely unbelievable, just a breathtaking, awe-inspiring moment. And the whole book actually talks about something called legates, which the legates in and of themselves, the whole concept of legates fascinates me, including Michael Scott's description of Danu Talis, which is what he calls, well, it actually was the name of Atlantis. And a little bit of a side note here, Edgar Cayce wrote a book on Atlantis, if you're intrigued. Honestly, I'd like to think that Atlantis existed. I believe that Atlantis might come up to rise again. Maybe, I don't know. It's a lot of scientists would say, oh, that's a bunch of malarkey. Why do you believe such things? Well, I like to think that there are certain things in this life that can't be explained by conventional science, let alone other elements. Not even metaphysics can explain that. This is something that goes into the realm of the unknown and the paranormal, which is something else that I ascribe to highly and believe in wholeheartedly, because I've seen a lot of things that would you would wonder. I'd just think, why am I seeing all these things? And this is one of those stories, and it just makes you wonder. I'd like to think that magic in and of itself exists in a different form. At the time when alchemy was first discovered, it was considered magic because people didn't understand. It was just a different way of describing it. And science in this day and age, that's our magic. Just think about it in that way. That's just a whole new perspective, I think, and it'll open your eyes. So I think that scientists are our modern day magicians. I really don't have any other comments about the book itself, other than I just love the idea of Abraham the Mage trying to preserve his knowledge, and just the idea of the change in and of itself with the elders is terrifying and mystical, and it's also something beautiful in and of itself, and that also intrigued me. It was another plot device that Michael Scott used and wove so intricately within the story itself, and I could see these things happening in the eye of my mind, and it was just incredible, and that's how I could write my particular stories. And I'm working on a tale with a friend of mine right now, and actually I have some characters drawn. I know they look a little bit strange because I used marker, and I should have used just regular crayon with their flesh tones, but as you can see, Talia Goes to Tokyo characters are right along here. Talia is my main character. She's kind of a tomboy at the beginning, but later she becomes more feminine. Akiko becomes her motherly character. Miho becomes her romantic interest. Spoiler alert, she's Averon's brother. And Sean is Talia's father. I have another character right over here. Her name's Teddy. And she is another panty and stocking with garter belt fan character. And bra and glove. I don't have, actually, I do have bra and glove if I can find them really, really quickly. They're all favorite characters of mine. Along with Genevieve, my Aquabat character, and her superheroine name is Diamond, just because of her last name. It has nothing to do with her superpower, so that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. There's Bra. And Bra's kind of a... she's got a schoolgirl thing going on. Kind of a... I don't know what I would call her style. Kind of punkish. Yeah, she's like a punk girl. And Glove has this sort of chic, elegant, how would I say, kind of 30s, 20s retro look. And Bra's look is more like something you would find at a go-go bar, to say the least. And I will be drawing my latest character, whose name is Ken Yamaha. It's called An American Kabuki Style. He's only half American, by the way, but I will be getting to that story in time. I will be writing my first ever crossover between Aquabats and Lazy Town. I know that sounds absolutely bonkers, but I've always wanted to do this. I know you're probably looking at me and saying, aren't you a little old to be watching a children's show? Well, when there's nothing else on television, I'll watch things like Yo Gabba Gabba, even though it's really, really, really strange. Town is probably one of my favorites. Just because I got a tiny crush on Sporticus. I will admit to that. I like European shows. What of it? I also enjoy Sesame Street. I've always enjoyed Sesame Street. It's probably one of the better kid shows I can watch when I don't have anything else to watch. But I'm going to be combining that with Aquabats. And I wrote an Aquabat story that I thought was absolutely fantastic. It was called Diamond in the Rough. And then we were introduced to Genevieve. Genevieve is kind of like Eagle Bones. She plays bass guitar, though, and her bass is wicked fast. And she's just unbelievable. She's got these obligatos that she can play at this just unbelievable speed. It's kind of like she is sort of like Swissgar in a way, which is sort of a strange way of saying that she's unbelievable. She's just got so much talent when she plays, and also she can blast villains with her guitar. She also has an ability like Black Canary, which, if you're familiar with that character, you know what I'm talking about. It's this supersonic scream, which is really cool. This ability was developed when she was just around her equipment sound checking. No one really knows how it happens, but she just has this ability to disarm her villains by her sonic scream, and she can actually split Earth with it. And I don't know if she can levitate stuff with it or not, but I think she can. But I didn't have that ability listed in the story itself, and it's posted on fanfiction.net, and so is my Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt fanfic, which is called Classy But Deadly. And then you're introduced to anybody else hear that? I thought I heard help. Ooh. I don't want to think about that, but anyway. What was I going to say before I got freaked out? That's basically all I have to say about, Enchantress, and I hope that if you're a fan of Michael Scott, you'll definitely check it out, because it's definitely got my stamp of approval.